Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff today, but I want to take a minute to thank you all for subscribing. I've got 1,000 subscribers now. I remember when I was excited over 50 and I wanted 1,000 before Christmas and we made it happen. So I want to thank you so much. I went down to the basement and started digging out I found some more stuff and digging out my nativity stuff, and surprise, more Santas. I found this box I forgot I even had. So I counted all my Santas up and I've got 109 Santas. So I think I need intervention. What do you guys think? Maybe I need to stop buying Santas, or maybe I need to send them out to you guys. I found these glasses. I hadn't had them out for a couple of years. I got them at Dollar General many years ago, and I use them for hot chocolate, and I keep them out until Valentine's Day is over, and they're just real pretty. Then, of course, I ran into the box of the boys' ornaments. Since they are twins, we bought 2 of every ornament, and when people gifted them ornaments, they gave them 2, and we have a lot, and as of yet, they don't seem too interested in packing them up and taking them home with them, but I think they will someday. It's funny how when they're younger, they don't think about that stuff, but when they grow older and have children of their own, they'll want their ornaments. Maybe if I get lucky before then, I might make them up a little tree. I'm not sure how long they're going to be here. These were plastic ornaments I picked up years ago, and those were nice. You didn't have to worry about them breaking them. And they had quite a few. This one was plastic as well. So I'll get them all boxed up and send them their way one of these days. Kind of makes me sad. There's our first ornament, Kevin and I. We were married in 1994, and I had a pink and mauve tree. It was all Victorian, and I made this little ornament for us, and seems like 100 years ago, but it wasn't. It was only 29 years ago. And big hair. I still have my tall, dark, handsome man. Remember the little bed that I got at the free rummage sale? Well, I decided I was going to paint it. I thought about brown, I thought about black and white, and I chose Tuscan red. I decided to go a little bit crazy and just go for red. And I painted it, and I left a little sticker in the middle so people would always know where the doll bed came from. But I got it all finished, and I had some scraps of twill fabric and put on it. Those little posts have a canopy that goes on top, but I'm not going to put the canopy on. And then I had a little doily that I also got at that free sale. I threw across it, and this little bed will sit under one of my trees. Then I went foraging and got a bunch of greens, some pine and cedar, and some boxwood bushes, and I cut and I stuffed into all my trees. And I decided that I was going to do something different. I had to dismantle a tree. This is my nature-inspired tree that was in the living room, and I put it in the kitchen. So I rearranged and did all that, and I put some pine in. It really fills out those little trees when you fill them in with a lot of, it looks like a real tree now. You can't even tell it's artificial. So I'm going through all my stuff, and I found my nativity stuff, and I have more than I thought. And I had lost my nativity tree. Well, actually, I threw it out last year, and I was looking for another one, and I couldn't find the one I wanted. So I just decided I had a big tree already. How about I just go with a small tree? I want to show you this little candle holder real quick. I got this at the thrift store for $1 because it said it didn't work and all it needed was batteries. But it had a sticker on the back of it from a primitive store. And I was in a Keepers, another primitive store, the other day, and they wanted $24 for this little candle. And I had the little chimney for it, so $1. Anyway, this is the tree in the kitchen, the nature tree, before I stuffed it with the greenery. And then this is the living room tree that's been done with all my vintage ornaments. I've showed you that before. I decided I have to make it into the nativity tree. So I took all of these ornaments off, and all of the ornaments back there on that little tree came off, and that became the nature tree in the kitchen. I hope you can keep up with my craziness here. Now, this was the nature tree in the kitchen after I filled it with all the greenery. It really fills it out, and people walk in and they think it's a real tree. They say, "Where'd you get that cute little tree? It's so perfect." Well, It's an artificial tree just stuffed full. So I took this big tree with all my vintage ornaments from the 60s and 70s, 50s, and I took them off. And remember, I had taken that tree and not fluffed it out and made it look skinny? Well, I had to fluff it out. And then I moved all those little ornaments over to the little tree that used to be the nature tree, and it's really packed. And I know I've told you that I like orange and rust, and the base colors of my house are mostly like old world colors like green and gold and burgundy, and I throw some rust in there. Well, that's where I got the color inspiration from my nativity tree, because it was in my living room and I wanted it to match everything. So when I went shopping for nativity ornaments, I always went for the rust colors and the golds and those kinds of colors. And I found my nativity. This is my original one. I found it at a thrift store for $3 and it was in really good shape. I added some greenery to the top. It's faux greenery, and some pine cones just to dance it up a little bit. And it always sits under my nativity tree. And then through the years, I have just collected all of these things, these figurines. I collect those, and I just hot glue a heavy wired velvet hook on the back, and gold. I have a lot of gold, bronze, copper. I've just thrifted most of these. Some of them I picked up at Hobby Lobby. These little gold churches and the stars and the snowflakes, they have a lot of glitter on them, so I spray those down with some matte sealer, like a clear matte sealer, and that keeps the glitter from coming off. But they add a little bit of sparkle to the tree while staying with the original colors of the rust and the gold. And then I found some beaded ornaments. I love my pears, and I love fruit on a tree. I think that's just really special. And then I found these green grapes, and they're glass, and they're just very beautiful. And I just tuck all this stuff into the tree. These are some ornaments I got at Hobby Lobby after Christmas, because I think most people don't associate this color with Christmas, so they just don't purchase too many of them, and there was a lot left, so I got them pretty cheap. And then I find angels at thrift stores. These are all ornament angels, and I do have a couple of burgundy ones, but most of them are gold and cream. And then these are laying on that gold quilt that I got for my table. And then these big baubles, they're glass and they're pretty heavy, but I found those at Hobby Lobby as well. And when I put those on the tree, I put those down low and all the way around the bottom so that it evenly weights the tree down. But they hang off the bottom of the tree and just look beautiful. And then I just pick up all kinds of orange, gold, rust, and little frames. There's a copper frame from the Dollar Tree, an off-white frame, a gold one. I'll put little images in these and hang them on the tree. I found those this year, because I'm looking all the time. I mean, this tree's evolved over probably 30 years. That's a family picture of us when the boys were about 6 years old in a gold frame. And here's an easy ornament to make. I made this way back when I started my nativity tree. I just took a little piece of cardboard, put a little piece of hem on it, a hem, and then I put beads along the bottom. This is a neat idea to add some glamour to your tree for cheap. I just take gold beads or bronze colored beads and I put a hook at the top of them and make them about 6-inch sections. And then these little scrolls, just tore some paper, printed out some sayings, rolled them up like scrolls, and I tuck them into the tree. They're just beautiful. That font, I'm not sure exactly what the name of that font is, but it's not hard to find when you go into your Word. And there's more of the balls. I've got probably 200 ornaments for this tree. That's why it has to be a big tree. And then there's some I got at Hobby Lobby after Christmas, because nobody thought that was a Christmas color, or these. I tell you, you got to be thinking different than everyone else. And in the midst of all this, had to eat supper, so we sat down amongst all the ornaments and ate glitter spaghetti. And then I picked up flowers all along the way of rust and peach and cream colored, and I tucked those into the holes in the tree. And just any little gold thing I found at a yard sale or a thrift store I bought for the tree. This is a heavy ornament that I keep kind of in the middle of the tree so it doesn't, and this one's heavy as well. I found those at Goodwill. Then this raffia, however you say it, I'm going to show you in a little bit what I use it for on the nativity tree, and it turned out really pretty. And this is the only silver ornament I have on the tree. It's an ornament that one of my cousins gave me, and it means a lot to me. Then I found this cute little ornament that's a wine glass. It's red glass, which you know I love, and it's only 4.5 inches tall. And I wish I could find some more of those, but I found that for like 50 cents, and it hangs on my tree, and it's just gorgeous. And then I always start out by putting my bow on top first, or whatever my topping is on my tree, because if I don't, I end up mangling my whole tree trying to get the topper on. So that's what I do first. And there's the little hem with the beads hanging off of it, hanging on the tree. And these are some of the ornaments. I'm trying to show you close-ups of how pretty they are. When you look at the whole tree, especially at night, it just glows with an amber color it's just nativity like to me. I think it just, look at those hanging off the bottom of the tree. And I leave those little plastic hoops on some of the ornaments because sometimes the ornament hooks don't hold too good, and those plastic ones really do. These little scrolls, you can just tuck those in. You don't have to put a hanger on those. Just tuck them in. The branches hold them perfectly. And they just add a nice little touch to the tree. And you can see them. You can see them when you walk up close. And there's a couple of the little figurines. And then the raffia, I want you to take it in long strips, like 16-inch, 12-inch, and 8-inch. And just tie a knot at the top of it. And you're going to tuck those into the tree. It fills in the tree, and it adds a touch of nature, I think. And once you tuck them in, the knotted part, the pieces just fall out of the tree like a waterfall. They're just beautiful. And these little raffia pieces I've had since the beginning, so they're old, and I need to buy some new and make them different. But there's the ornament my brother gave me. And then this is a curtain panel. It's an 84-inch one curtain panel I found at the thrift store, but I bought it because tree skirt. I have a whole pile of fabric in my hall closet, and I go to it a lot. So this is the nativity tree from the same angle I showed you the vintage tree the other night. I dismantled the whole thing, took all those ornaments and moved them, put these on that tree, and it's now in the living room, and that's where it needs to be. I was going to put it in my bedroom, but Jesus's tree needs to be out where everyone can see it. And this, is, of course, is when my little cousin was touching it years ago, and we took that picture of him. And you can see the raffia falling out of the tree. That's when it was in a little bit better shape than it is now. And there's the nativity underneath the tree, along with the little house I made for my husband. I'll probably move it to my other tree. And then this is what used to be the nature tree, now is the vintage ornament tree, and it's packed. It's got a lot of, I like the reflection of it in the hall tree mirror. It's got a lot of ornaments in it, but across the room, it's more colorful, but it doesn't clash with the nativity tree because they're pretty far apart. And it's really packed with ornaments. I didn't put them all out. I'll probably put another little tree in my bedroom because I like to look at all of my old vintage ornaments that I've collected. And then my shelves where I normally just show dishes, I tucked in some more Santas and some greenery and some berries and different things like that. And of course my Santas, they have to go everywhere because I've got so darn many of them. And they're sitting in front of my hutch that holds all my dishes. And I'm kind of running out of room. And this is my crystal that's on my mantle, and I just put ornaments and candle holders and a lot of greenery. I did finally tuck my greenery in, and put some greenery up over my cabinet. That's my $10 cabinet I got at the estate sale. And in my bathroom, I just kind of keep it simple. I just put a tree with no ornaments. And we found this little nightlight one time that actually bubbles, and we love it. So I keep it in the hall bathroom so everyone can see it. And this hangs on a little cabinet in my bathroom. I've had that little ornament for years. And this is my kitchen window. I added faux greenery there, and some Santas and some bells, and it's just pretty when you're standing there washing dishes. And then I started getting some Christmas cards already, and I love my Christmas cards. I tape them all around that big china cabinet, and of course everybody knows I like Santa, so a lot of my friends send me Santa cards, and a sleigh. I love sleighs, and my friends know me pretty well. It seems like they custom make the cards just for me. And this is a little postcard. I don't know if people send cards so much anymore. I think that the price of them is holding people back. And then I found a tree as I was driving the other day full of berries, and I picked a bunch of them. They're probably poisonous, but I keep them up high, and we don't have any pets. But I think that I kind of overdid it on those berries. And then when I went past the berry tree, I jumped out and cut some of them, and I thought, I wonder if these are supposed to be brought in, and they're drying really well. They're staying kind of plump. But when I looked at some magazines and I was looking at YouTube the other night, I saw some more that were just like them in other people's homes, so I guess they are using them. And I like crock bowls. I've got a lot of crock bowls. This was gifted to me by the family of a dearly departed friend, and I just love it. And then this is just a shopping bag that I framed in an 11 by 14 frame and hung in my kitchen. I just can't throw a shopping bag away. And I found this in the free bin. It's a little candle, and I just grabbed it because it was free and it was kind of cute. And I thought, it probably won't smell good, but it smells delicious. It smells like sugar. And I glued it on top of a candlestick. And this is a little nature tree. And then I had given one of my friends one of these big Christmas trees that has all colors of lights in it. And I wished I had one. And next thing you know, I found two of them at a thrift store, probably at different thrift stores. And my husband and I really enjoy them. They glow different colors all through the evening, and they just change constantly, and they're really pretty. So this week, I'm going to finish my Santa sleigh. I'm going to put Santa in it with his packages, put the reins, and put the reindeer in front of it, and then the porch will be done. But pretty much everything's done at my house. Now it's time to kick back and wrap presents and cook and bake and set out candy. And I'm going to have some family over, and we're going to have a Christmas dessert night, and everybody's going to enjoy some Christmas treats. And it's kind of nice having everything done. I may put one more little tree up in my bedroom. And the boys' tree I don't know about yet. I'm going to ask them what they think. But I want to thank you guys for the subscribers. I tell you, we're making this happen. I can't believe it. And I'm so happy that you guys are enjoying the channel. And I hope you come back because there's a lot more to do. And I hope this inspires you to go out and do something fun today.